that it? Is that it?
Is that the only one, Trustee?
Okay,
Yep.
thank you. No. Roll call.
So roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis. Trustee McFadden. Trustee Fold.
We'll just move on to the next person. Is that all right? All right. You're welcome. St. Clair Bell.
And I had scheduled meetings with Senate-wide representatives, and I was asking for a small donation, and I have...
Is that a copy for everybody?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm sure we can give some assistance, absolutely. Help our young people. Oh, I'm sorry, Sonia Jenkins. Sonia Jenkins.
Good evening, Board.
Good evening.
I just wanted to come in and thank you guys for being so supportive during my time of bereavement, as well as our entire village. And also, I wanted to piggyback on what my daughter was discussing in reference to the FFA. If you don't know what the acronym means, it's the Future Farmers Association over at Crete-Monique High School. They need a bus, their own bus, because it's extremely expensive for the school to rent a bus for their different trips that they're going on. The officials to give them a donation. The budget has thank you for the support that you had given us. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Deborah J. Stroud.
Thanks for helping me get my steps in. Good evening, Board, Mayor, those present, those viewing. I'm trying to understand the conversation. I'm not ashamed to ask questions. The conversation regarding the last board meeting in reference to the fire department. So, I have a few questions and/or statements. Myself, I'm a member of municipal, township, county, and state committees. Diversity is great. It brings in fresh ideas. It does make a difference to hear from others in other directions. I'm not negating diversity. Yet, I'm wondering if the performance of duties is at stake from the present fire department. If the Police and Fire Commission has made any comments, suggestions, statements about a lack of performance. I'm one of 3 generations in this community. In all 3 of my generations, we needed fire department assistance. Truthfully, and I can't speak for the other 2, we didn't care if somebody who assisted us in our need, if they were pink, purple, polka dot. We didn't care. We needed remedy. So, I'm wondering if the Police and Fire Commission, who hire and/or promote the police department and fire department personnel, did anybody notice that they themselves are not a diverse commission? As I look around, our board that governs this community is not a diverse board. Why is it so at stake about the diversity? If anybody can answer me, it'll help me digest an understanding. About the diversity, why is it a concern, or hiring from within, or promoting from within? Because that's what the Police and Fire Commission does. Am I correct?
I feel diversity always plays a big role in any organization, neighborhood, etc. We always want to see a melting pot. We want to see people of different colors, statues, businesses, you name it. So I'm not I wasn't here at the last meeting. I did kind of listen in, but the volume was not that good. I understand wanting to promote from within because I worked at a place where I felt I was the next in line. I was in the top 3, but they chose to go outside of the spectrum and hire somebody else. Well, that's fine. If the person's qualified, have all the I's dotted and T's crossed. But here's the thing. They wanted me to train that person. So I drew a line in the sand. And back then, I bought a Tribune, which had the most jobs in it. And I went on an interview, and it was history after that. I sent them my resignation. I just always feel it's good to go within the ranks, but it's also good to consider others to make sure you're making the best choice.
Thank you. And I forgot to ask, I hope you're doing better.
And let me add this too, because there was a remark made, and I'm not coming for the clerk, but the remark was colored men don't like jumping out of windows or going in burning buildings. I was at home and I clutched my pearls. I was looking for a house shoe because I was going to do a George Bush where they threw the shoe at the TV. That's what I was going to do. Because I couldn't believe it. I said, wait, hold, maybe I need to rewind this, but it's live, I can't rewind it. Because there are thousands of black firemen that go in burning buildings and jump out of windows. I don't know where the statistics were from. I lost a very good friend who graduated high school, went straight into being a fireman, and on 70-something, I think in Western, the place was on fire. It was a tire shop. He went in, but he didn't come out. That really touched me. So I just think we got to be careful with what we say, and if we don't have statistics to back it up, then I don't think remarks like that should have been made. And then I was shocked that no one here said a crying word. I'm like, I need to put a bubble over by everybody's head, gone fishing, out to lunch, not at home, what's for dinner, because I'm like, no one said anything. It was whisper quiet. Not even the 2 chiefs here, nobody. And I was shocked and appalled. So that's all I have to say on that. Madam Clerk, you can address it, but I was really stunned.
Trustee Williams, and to the audience, I think maybe what I said, you did not receive it as I intended. Okay. I was speaking about the diversity and inclusion in the fire department in this village. My comment included there is diversity because we have males and females. And I think my comment was more of the fact, let's be reasonable. There are not a lot of people of color that are biting at the bits to be running into burning buildings. We've got good people in the department, and what has been past practice is what this ordinance that they were talking about repealing. So I was trying to address that and speak my truth. That was all. Not intended that there aren't black firefighters, because one of our own trustees has 2 kids who are firefighters. So I was not trying to demean anybody. I was speaking the truth here in this community. You can count, we've had maybe three black firefighters in the history. 4?
Forgive me. Off the top of my head, thinking of the names starting from back in 80s, we've had 6.
6?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
6. And they go so far back, again, like I say, from the 80s. We've had 6 from the time we were a volunteer fire department of Park Forest South. I've worked with so many of them, that's why I know.
Yeah, I was out here when,
Right.
Guberman, Liddy,
Yeah.
Exner.
Thank you for replying to my question. I appreciate it. Thank you for being, for anybody who listened to what I'm saying or asking. Thank you. Everybody have a great evening.
okay.
Robert Barnes. How you doing, Mr. Barnes?
I'm doing just fine, sir. Good evening, council members, so forth. I'm here today. I don't have anything written down. I don't exactly know who to speak to, but I've been a resident of University Park for the past 9 years. And I live basically across the street over in Maple Leaf Apartments. And what I don't understand and what I would like clarity on or a direction of who to talk to about the properties there. For as much as they're charging on a monthly rate, which is a mortgage, I live there, I accept it evidently. But for the roadways, the building itself, the deterioration of the buildings, who would I talk to for is making a difference or what have you, and making changes? I received I think the asset manager email address. I'm going to email him this evening, and I guess the next meeting I'll be able to come in and tell you what the response was. But for as much as they charge to live over there, and the presentation of it and the condition of it is totally unacceptable. Me, as an 8-year veteran, I've seen potholes in Desert Storm deeper than the ones, about the same depth as the ones over there in the road. And like I said, I'm just here to find out who I would have to talk to about it, or who can I discuss it with, what I could do to make changes or help make changes, or what have you, other than just complain about it.
All right, I tell you, that's a private property, but I will tell you to start first with the property management, with the office building. I don't know, is it Vince Sharma that runs the Maple Leaf apartment? I would start there first. I would start with Mr. Sharma first, because he's responsible for the roads, the snow plowing, and the maintenance of the properties over there. And if there's anything out of code, out of compliance with the village ordinance, then we would address it with our code enforcement officers. Right then, I don't know of any other remedies that I can think of right now, because it's kind of a strange thing, because that's a privately owned development, and they're responsible for everything that goes inside there. We provide police and fire protection for them, but as far as their roads and everything, they're solely responsible for those.
Is there a standard in University Park that they have to maintain in order to function?
It is, and that would be something that you would deal with code enforcement. If I'm not mistaken, the hours for code enforcement are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. And maybe Mr. Richards can help you, because they actually currently come under the fire department, so maybe he will be able to assist you and try to help you with that problem.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
And we appreciate your concern, because we all want a better community to live in.
Oh, no problem. My grandmother always said, because she was born in the project.
Show you're right.
I do what I got to do.
All right. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. That will conclude our public comment section. We're going to... That's quite all right. You can come on to the podium, ma'am. The custom is 3 minutes for general public comments. This will be our last general public comments for tonight.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening. I'm Mrs. Boyd, and I just want to ask, would you all please put out a newsletter so we can know what's going on in the village? It doesn't have to be that polished newsletter that we typically get. Recyclable paper would be great, and we would like to see not you all's picture so in bold on the paper. We want what you're doing in bold in the paper. And we want to know what's going on with the community, with the children in the community. We don't have any information, and sometimes you cannot hear what's going on YouTube. I know you plan to have a skate park over in Craig Park. Is that still going to take place?
It's a conversation with the developer because there's some things that he left out when he did his little landscaping work over there.
Okay, so how soon can we get a newsletter going?
Well, actually, Ms. Boyd, it's actually in the making. I think all the trustees have submitted their articles and everything, and I think that they might be waiting on my last article to be submitted.
Please don't put you all self so big
But
in
listen,
the paper.
we're going to give you the facts, and the facts just as they are.
I mean, I understand that, but, you know, I know when you get in there, you put yourself, big article and a big picture, make you all self small and make what you're doing big.
Absolutely.
That's what it should be.
I
Thank
agree.
you.
Absolutely. All right. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Item F2A, is there a first, second, and third reading? Do you want to do something with that, trustee?
Motion to table.
There's a motion to table by trustee Fulcher. Is there a second? Second. Second by trustee Lewis. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis.
Both sides.
Trustee McFadden.
Both sides.
Trustee Fulcher.
Both sides.
Trustee Thompson.
Both sides.
Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Mayor Rudez.
Votes aye, Madam Clerk. Votes aye to table. Next item, item F2B, first, second, and third reading, an ordinance amending ordinance number 998, section 4440-12, regulations pertaining to the stopping, standing, or parking of vehicles engaged in curbside vending, hyphenated mobile food truck. Is there a motion? Moved by Lewis. Second. Second by McFadden. Roll call. I should just call this. I should just do the consent agenda.
Trustee Lewis.
Both sides.
Trustee McFadden.
Both sides.
Trustee Fulcher.
Both sides.
Trustee Thompson. Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Mayor Rudez.
Votes aye, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mayor, that's ordinance O 2024-06.
Oh, that's like old Sheila. Gotcha. Okay, item F2C. Resolution authorizing the use of motor fuel tax MFT funds for purchase of a street sweeper from standard equipment and repealing resolution R2024-07. Is there a motion? By McFadden, by Lewis. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis. Trustee McFadden.
Both sides.
Trustee Fulcher.
Both. Hold on. I'm trying to find it. Votes no.
Trustee Thompson.
Votes no.
Trustee Williams. Mayor Rudez.
Votes aye.
Mr. Mayor, that's resolution R 2024-11.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We'll finally get a street sweep out here to get these streets cleaned up. They look horrible.
Thank you.
All right. Item F2D, a resolution authorizing the use of motor fuel tax MFT funds for the engineering of the University Parkway resurfacing from Cicero Avenue to the Metro Station entrance in the village of University Park, Will, and Cook counties.
Right.
Is there a motion? Okay, wait, just
I need to make an amendment to that resolution.
wait a minute, one second.
Put it on.
We got to put it on the floor first. We got a motion in a second.
Don't have a second. Who's the
Lewis,
second?
moved by Lewis, second by McFadden. Question?
Question.
Yes, all right.
What's the area?
Go.
I see it saying.
Okay,
That's what the
Metro Station.
is going to.
So it's University Parkway between Cicero and Governor's Highway. It's also that little strip that leads up to the Metro lot. And I'd also, yeah, right where you turn in. And I'd like to also make a couple changes on here that I saw. So on here, it has $137,860. The paperwork I sent over reflects it should be $40,000. I would also like to plug in where it has the approximate miles of street, it's .8. Yes, it's blank. It's actually on page 1 of the resolution, where it says whereas, it's the third whereas paragraph. The Village of University Park regularly maintains and resurfaces, and this is only going to be resurfacing .8 miles. The other thing that I would like to input is on the last page, page 3, where it has the IDOT resolution as authorized from the Village MFT fund line item. I'd like to include the fund line dash 000 decimal point 000 dash 543 decimal point 000. It is 300 dash 000 decimal point 000 dash 543 decimal point 000. And that comes from the paperwork that I sent on Saturday.
And is that going to be the same thing for on page 3 where we just put the fund line
Yes.
item?
Perfect.
Thank you. She's coming.
So then, so now, the appropriate motion would be to, someone wants to make a motion to amend as stated by.
I make a motion to amend Village Manager Scott's amendments to the ordinance.
Do I need a second?
Yes.
A second.
Motion made by Lewis, second by McFadden. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Okay.
This is for the amendment.
That is Trustee Lewis. Trustee McFadden.
Both sides.
Trustee Folger.
Both sides.
Trustee Thompson.
Both sides.
Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Mayor Rudis.
Vote aye.
Okay.
All right, now we need a motion and a second for the amendment.
No, no. We just, we got that. Now we do the roll call on the main motion.
Now,
On the main.
roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis. Williams.
Both sides.
Mayor Rudis.
Vote aye, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mayor, that's Resolution R 2024-12 as amended.
So okay, here we go. Item F2E, a resolution of condolences for Mr. Ralph Jenkins.
Second.
Roll call, Madam Clerk. Then I'll read it. Okay. All right, we're going to read it. And I know this was elegantly written by my esteemed Madam Clerk. How sweet it is at evening after a long and well-filled day to close your eyes in slumber and rest from the toils of the days. This is a resolution of condolence honoring and celebrating the life of Mr. Ralph Jenkins, Jr. Whereas Mr. Ralph Jenkins, Jr., Butch, as he was fondly called, moved to the village of University Park about 14 years ago with his daughter and family and began to carve out his legacy as the family's premier chef and barbecue king. And whereas Mr. Ralph Jenkins, Jr., his passion was cooking, he loved jazz and was a kind, reliable, and gentle man who loved his only daughter Sonia and family unconditionally. Whereas we know that earth has no sorrow that heaven cannot heal, we say to Sonia and all of the family, hold on until the memories and be thankful for the chance you had to make those memories. And whereas we believe that although the bell has rung on his earthly life, he may be physically gone but never forgotten. And we know that the life he lived will forever speak for him. And whereas we know that your hearts are heavy, that your pain, tears, and hurts are real, and while no words of ours can lessen your loss, please know that we loved him and we grieve with you. And now therefore be resolved by the mayor, village clerk, board of trustees, village manager, village collector, village treasurer, staff, and residents of the great village of University Park that our condolences is extended to his devoted daughter, our own former village trustee, Sonia Jenkins Bell, son-in-law Sidney Bell, granddaughter Sinclair, grandsons Joshua, Brianna Griffin, Kobe and Kyle, two great-grandchildren, Joshua and Jabria, and the entire family in the loss of this great man.
Amen.
All right. All right.
It was presented.
It was presented. All right.
Yes.
All right. And here's the last part. Be it further resolved that the mayor, village clerk, and board of trustees of the village of University Park deem it both befitting and appropriate to recognize the memory of Mr. Ralph Jenkins Jr. by officially adopting this resolution and placing it on the file with the official records of the village of University Park, and that this testimonial of condolence duly passed, signed, and sealed be presented to his daughter and family as an expression of our heartfelt sympathy. Presented the 21st day of April 2024, and it was approved by a roll call vote as follows on April 23rd. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis. Both sides. Trustee McFadden.
Both sides.
Trustee Folger.
Both sides.
Trustee Thompson.
Both sides.
Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Mayor Rudez.
Vote aye, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mayor, that is resolution R 2024-13.
All righty. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Here we go. Bills payable. Big bills payable tonight, guys. Big one. Attached for your approval is a listing of general operating expenses for the village of University Park that occurred on March 26, 24 through April 23, 24. General Fund, $34,196.35. Town Center Fund, $542, with a grand total of $34,738.35. Is there a motion? Moved by Lewis. Is there a second? Second by McFadden. Questions? Go ahead, Jessica, trustee.
I see a payment to Matt Stacy. I still don't know what it's for. Does he have a contract that says what it's supposed to be?
We'll be finishing up in about, I think it's another week and a half. I have that report. I've been having problems opening it, but I have his board report. So if anything, I'm going to have to go back to the office and, because I sent it to myself, but I can't open any of the attachments, so.
I know he was working over at the golf course down in the basement.
He sent it to me before I forwarded it, so hold on, give me one moment.
Okay. I remember that.
And I think I read one of his previous reports, but give me one moment,
Right.
please.
That's where I heard it from.
Because I put all of them on one one email, and for some reason now, it won't open.
Very nice resolution, Madam Clerk.
Wow.
I'll forward the board the report. They changed out the printers today, and I don't know what happened, but my computer's been haywire. And I have the reports right here, but I'm having issues opening it. Let me try to, hold on. How did you open it again?
Okay, so
right click.
Right click.
Right. You have to try to finagle it. Sometimes it opens and
This attachment.
it's over. But that, no, they're
You were
all
trying
on
to
there.
get Department report,
That's someone else's report. That's Matt's report.
the project.
Don't worry about it. I'll forward it to the board. I'm not trying to mess with this. It keeps, I don't want it to blank out.
I make a motion that we pull that payment until the explanation is given to the board.
There's a motion on the floor. There a second?
Second.
Yeah, she wants to pull it.
A motion to pull this one payment until the board gets an explanation. That's the motion.
So could you give me the line?
This number that starts with,
I'll send it to the board.
1785?
There's a motion and a second on the floor to pay the bills with the exclusion of this until there's report to the board.
there's one more correction.
One more question? All right.
For lobby day travel expenses, you can't do it all. You gotta do that one first. So, I want to make a motion to pull this payment to Mr. Stacy, and also to correct the IML lobby day expenses for Trustee Williams, because she did not go.
117. So we got two motions on the floor.
It's combined.
All right. Well, there's a motion in the second, motion by Trustee Thompson, second by Trustee Fulcher.
Trustee Fulcher, did you?
Yes, I second.
It's excluding items 111-1786 and 111-1787.
85 and 87.
I'm sorry, 85. That's Friday night for that. 85 and 87. All right. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
I can't, you can't look at it.
What's that? Okay, let's finish. We got a motion in the second, so we have to, then you can come back and consider whatever.
Okay.
All right.
Motion to amend the bills payable. Trustee Lewis. Trustee McFadden.
Vote aye.
Trustee Fulcher.
Both aye.
Trustee Thompson.
Both sides.
Trustee Williams. Mayor Rudis. Okay, that one carried. Now, are you ready for the bills payable as amended?
I need a motion for the bills payable
we've got the motion
You got the motion?
and a second.
Roll call now first. Yeah, we did.
Trustee Lewis. Trustee McFadden.
Votes aye.
Trustee Folger.
Both sides for the nigga.
Trustee Thompson.
Both sides.
Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Mayor Rudis.
Vote side.
That's to approve as amended.
Yeah, real quick, just wanted to update the board that tomorrow we're spending the entire day at Crete Mooney Middle School for Career Day. So our firefighters will spend from 7 a.m. in the morning to noon with the 7th and 8th graders, giving them an experience and showing them PowerPoints and kind of what we do and introducing them early to try to get them to be excited about being a fireman. So, and a paramedic. So tomorrow we'll do a lot of pictures and hopefully we'll get those to Neva and we can get those out to everybody so you'll see how the day went. As far as purchases and things moving forward with the department, you're going to continue seeing the preventative maintenance bills coming through, as we do those every year at this time of the year in May. And then we're going to start renewing all of our software, which we operate with. So you start seeing bills in the next 60 days. Those are going to be broken up for our software. So other than that, we've been preparing the whole week for tomorrow, and then you guys should see pictures. So, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Village Board and citizens. The University Park Police Department will also be at Coretta Scott King tomorrow for Career Day, and because we're trying to get them in young, get them lined up and get them excited about being a police officer, because we need the young blood in our profession. Since the last meeting, the police department has continued in its mission to liaise with all our business communities to help them realize safety for their workers in and around their businesses, and to discuss ways that we can further assist them. We conducted a chat with the chief. We're integrating new technology into the police department operations. We got some new technology that we received from a grant, a couple of radios, a couple of other connectivity devices like cradle points and that type of thing. We liaise with Governor State University Criminal Justice Advisory Committee. Governor State is looking to enhance their criminal justice department, both bachelor's degree and master's degree, to make the department and the degree more relevant, to produce a graduate that is not only a good citizen, but is able to affect change and improve the criminal justice system in the United States. I am a member of the Criminal Justice Advisory Board for Governor State. So we met and we talked about that. We upfitted new police cars, and we're getting ready to, they're on the street, they're out, they're great. We're finishing up the striping on them. Upcoming events, again, tomorrow we'll be at the Career Day with at the grammar school. We're still planning, we're still planning Cop on Top, May 17th. It benefits the Torch Run and Special Olympics. If you have any extra change, please come by the, Mayor's laughing at me. We're going on a roof, and I'm historically afraid of heights. But we're going to be at the Dunkin' Donuts in Richmond Park from early in the morning till that evening. If you see the place quaking, that's me. I'm shaking because I'm afraid of heights. The mayor was gracious enough to be up there with me last year. You know, he kept me from falling. That was great. We're also continuing our planning for the Torch Run, which will be June 5th. I'm looking for volunteers to help me run the course. We had some volunteers. We had the trustees. We had a couple of citizens. We're looking for more volunteers to help me run the course. It'll be June 5th. It'll be in the morning. And then we're continuing our planning for National Night Out, which will be August 6th. And one last thing, I do have to say this. This is so recently we've had several attempts to steal cars from places in our community. And what we're finding with these attempts, including today, one that happened today, people are still leaving their cars running, doors unlocked, keys in the car. as if somebody is not going to take an opportunity to steal their car. Today, we were able to get their car back. However, we don't want to keep having that happen, okay? There is no place in these United States that somebody is not going to take advantage of that. If your car is not in your garage, do not leave it running with the keys in the car and the doors or windows unlocked. You're asking your car to get stolen. Okay, so please, I'm talking to all the citizens and everybody that's listening. Make sure we do that. That amount of time you're saving yourself is not going to be worth it when your car is gone. So I just wanted to put that up there. That ends my report. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Village Board. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to say I had been out ill, even though I did call in, but for about 2 weeks I had been sick, so there wasn't a whole lot of participating in things. I was supposed to go to Lobby Day and didn't, and then just over the weekend, I lost one of my very, very best dear friends, Mary Lois Green, who you all know. She's a former library trustee. She did the march on Washington and just a lot of things. This woman was very active in the community until her health began to, slip away. And I'm still shaken, broken up over it. We spent countless hours shopping, dining, sharing the goodness of the Lord. Just a beautiful, beautiful person. So my heart is really heavy tonight. I did get to participate in the National Transit Authority meeting where we talked about the metro area, what they want to do, the housing, the businesses. I added to it because I was telling the people from that organization I would like for PACE to consider running through Industrial Park, because the bus ends, at the train and then it goes off to Kankakee somewhere. But we have so many businesses and so many people that are hungry for jobs, but they don't have the proper transportation. So if we could work out something with PACE to make that happen, I think that would be a great asset to our village. And I have tons of ideas and things that I do want to bring to the front, but like I said, right now it's just not a good time for me until I can get through this process again. Thank you.
I would like to say a few words about Mary Lois Green, my neighbor and friend. She really was an unsung hero. She participated from a young age, like 13. She was one of the Freedom Riders. And she was locked up. She was a civil rights activist at 13. She was locked up in Parchman Prison in Mississippi as a civil rights activist. She was also one of the top ladies. She was very active at her church. And she was there was nobody else like her. She was just a sweet person, and she will be missed. She was one of the cornerstones of University Park. Once it became University Park, she was here doing whatever she could do. And I will miss her. I will miss her. I am a member of New Hope Community Church. And the senior ministry is partnering with Meals on Wheels. And so the meals will be distributed from New Hope. And then we are in the planning stages. I'm the ministry leader. We are in the planning stages for what I've named the Golden Age Cafe. The Golden Age Cafe will give seniors who receive Meals on Wheels and even their caregivers the opportunity to come to the church and have lunch 5 days a week. There will be music, socialization, games, because loneliness is a real thing. And so I look forward to hearing more about that. Next, we will never forget our veterans. So our Memorial Day celebration will be May 25th?
It's Saturday.
It's the wrong
25th should be a Saturday.
May 25th at 3 p.m. right here at the 90 Town Center. And we will be honoring our fallen veterans with music and food and presentations. You can RSVP to our assistant, Ms. Sharice Mosley, at 708-879-2063. And also, this flyer has a code. You can, because we need to get everybody's name. So we don't have all the names of everybody who's a veteran in this community, because we want you to be recognized. And that's it. Thank you.
Trustee Thompson, make sure you let them know we need those names by the first.
We would like to have those names. Mr. Veterans Chair, Tim Robinson, says we need those names by May 1st. Thank you.
Good evening, residents.
Madam Clerk, Trustee Foote, go right ahead.
Good evening, residents. I just wanted to give an update. As of last week, I attended Lobby Day, which was a very interesting and a good thing for trustees and board members, the mayor, village manager. I think that's something that was really good. What it consists of is board members, elected officials meeting with the legislators in the state and other legislators throughout the community, throughout the surrounding community. So it's all the mayors and trustees that were able to attend were there, where we can actually talk with them and see what they're doing in their community, and basically work together to see how to address certain issues. During that time period, it was meeting scheduled to meet with Senator Patrick Joyce and our representative Jackie Haas, but they were in, one of them was in session and the other one had an emergency. The next day we attended meetings. One of the things that I attended was the legislative hearing, and that was the legislative hearing with the House, Cities, and Village committees, and that was with Representative DeLuca. And during that discussion topic, there was a lot of key things that they was talking about, but a couple that is important was the Local Government Distributive Fund, which is known as the LGDF. And that fund, it consists of money that villages receive out of the state's tax money. So the money that we give to the state, they receive it, but unfortunately, the communities don't get their full percentage that they were supposed to receive. So it has been at 10% years ago. Right now, we're only receiving 6.4%, I believe. 6.4%. And without receiving all of that fund, that prevents us to be able to do all the things that we need to do in our communities. So it's not just a University Park issue, it's a overall every community issue where we're hoping and pushing to say, let's continue to raise that LGDF fund, tax money that we're supposed to receive, to where it should be. And I think that's Representative Luca is actually pushing for like a time frame to try to get that done up to 10% by 20, what was it?
They got the date.
20, it's like 5, 6, 7 years. I'm not sure, I can't remember the date, but that's the goal. Another thing that was talked about was the grocery tax. That's in legislation right now. I don't know if it's passed or not, but the grocery tax, the governor is trying to get rid of it. It's a 1% tax, and he wants to get rid of it. That 1% helps communities. A lot of communities receive millions of dollars from that 1% grocery tax. And that helps them with the services that we are able to put out into the communities. So all of the different things, the funding, the food pantries, anything like that, or even services, that comes from a lot of that tax money. So when you take it away, that means the community's gonna have to find another way to compensate for that loss. So,
Take away public services, that's what it
Right, the public services. So we were asking the governor not to get rid of that grocery tax of 1% because the state, it doesn't cost the state any, but it's going to cost the communities millions of dollars. That's out there that legislators and a lot of different representatives are trying to push the public safety pension reform. So there was a lot of good information. Manager, the clerk, and there was a lot of other local officials that was there. So it was good that they were there to represent the Southland suburban area. Also, I wanted to just mention that I was speaking with Public Works Department because I was wondering why is all these branches out and what they wasn't picked up. So I reached out to them and they stated that actually they started this week, but branch pickup will begin May 1st. So those that have branches out there, you're going to have to cut them down to 4 inches or 4 feet or something like that. So, and bundle them up, but they will be picking those up starting May 1st. Also, they asked we wanted to make sure that our community looked good, so please reach out to your neighbors and your family and anybody driving around that's throwing out trash. We want to keep our community clean, so please just kind of nudge them and say, please, could you pick that up? Don't throw that out the window. You know, we want to make sure, because not only does it affect how our community look, but it takes away the time that the Public Works Department has to be out there picking up paper where they could be doing other things. Also, I just wanted to say, I think that might be it, but...
That ain't it, is it?
Huh?
You ain't finished, are you?
I am. Don't be jealous.
That's good stuff.
Thank you.
See that you realize the value of those things, on how it works. It's a fast-paced thing, isn't it?
It is, and we need to just make sure we let the residents know, like when I'm going on a trip, I'm going to try my best to bring back something to say this is the things that they were talking about, so you all would know that we are here working, all of us doing our best to work for the residents here in University Park. So, thank you.
Thank you for giving my report too, so I don't have to say that.
Yeah, I'm glad I ain't got to go into LPPF. I ain't got to go into the grocery tax. But one thing, go ahead.
The LDDF fund, many municipalities like University Park, we don't have the means like most cities have the cannabis, they have a casino. We don't have that to supplement our money because we don't have that in our town. New towns have it to supplement the 6.4% in kind of over 15. We don't have those things in our town to supplement that. So we're running off of what we have locally here and in the industrial area to try to supplement the funds for us to pay payroll and those things. You say pay for the newspaper? No. Okay. No.
So, you know, one thing about that is even stores like our community, we don't have a grocery store, but we still get affected by the grocery tax because certain items in Family Dollar and Dollar General and PK are considered as grocery. Those are the kibbles and bits we all need, so it makes a big difference. And, you know, it doesn't take as much services away as it does other communities, but it still affects, and then we have to supplement that, not including the new influx of our new people that live in our community. So it's a lot going on. That's a great report, Trustee Fulcher.
Yes, it was.
Next, Patty?
Okay.
All right.
Hello, everyone. I am a member of Faith Movers Church 425 Exchange, and our pastor, Pastor Moses Herring, and the church is hosting a night of hope for Chicago, for University Park, for all of us. That will be this Friday, April 26th at 7 p.m. at the church. Please come out and join us.
Also, to piggyback on Trustee Fulcher, we were also privy to the Illinois Black Caucus for local officials. And this meeting that we had with them was for all of the Black local officials to come together so we can all address the issues like the grocery tax,
as well as this infrastructure, different types of money that we can all come together collectively at the table to address the issues instead of each town, each mayor going into the meeting by themselves with their local officials, with their legislators to try to push for money for their community. This was formed by Mayor Booker from Maywood. The mayor sits on the board as well. Mayor Katrina from Broadview. So they brought all of us together. Not everyone was in the room, everyone didn't make it down, but there were senators there. They were talking about this is a great cause that this conference has been formed. So what piggybacking off of her, it was a great experience to understand that those legislators need help behind them that come to the table to push for the things that we want for our community. So that was a great thing. We all had a good time doing that. Also, I want to let everyone know that the Mother's Day brunch is May 12th, Sunday, May 12th, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's $20 per person. There'll be a delicious meal, fashion show, live music, cash prizes for best dress, best hat, most season. When we say most season, that means like the oldest person in the community. That's what we're calling it, the most season. So I hope you all come out, register online, which means locally, for this event, and that means my report.
They better hurry up, because it's 130 tickets are gone already.
Okay.
Can I add something? I forgot to say that
If it's good for the people.
Okay, it's good. Reverend E. Dewey Smith from Atlanta will be at Faith Movers on Friday night, so come out and see him.
All right.
That was it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Madam Clerk.
Just briefly, to kind of piggyback on what Trustee Falter said, it is, and to note that it is important that we as a community contact our state, our local, and our federal legislators. Let them know. Write them letters. Let them know how we feel about these bills and things that they're trying to pass, whether it will help us or hurt us. We need to let our legislators know. We can't just complain and expect them to know. And this is kind of fun. Sometimes we might be 5 minutes late starting a meeting, 5 or 10 minutes. But Trustee Falter, we can say, we waited over 2 hours for this legislative meeting because they were, the legislators were in session. So sometimes we have to ask for patience and also to be patient. I cannot not say hugs and love to our trustee, Brooks, and to my sending out prayers, best wishes for a recovery for the best deputy clerk this village has ever had, Betty Sue Sanfratello. And I ask those of you who can get a prayer through, just pray for healing and patience for those who are sick. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
Okay.
You done, Madam Clerk? Well, I remember Sue. Manager, wait a minute, Mr. Ellis.
And I know
She said,
Sue
no.
watches our board meetings, so wanted to send out best wishes.
Jim?
I just want to let everybody know that last Monday, the baseball little league, they were 8th graders. I drove down to Peatone, and they played the game, but it was a tie. So at least I went, and they won. I mean, it was a tie game, It was great. A little windy, but it was nice.
All right, well, thank you for supporting our youth.
Yeah.
Good job, Trustee Fulcher. Awesome. Niva Jenkins.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. Communications report for April. The spring-summer newsletter is approximately 22 pages, and I'm waiting for additional articles from a few people, and once we have those articles, we'll be good to go. I met with Thomas Burns by phone to continue the conversation about the cable station plan. And also at the University Park Golf Club, I've been working on various tasks revolving the event planner forum, met with people, customers for golf course rentals, also reached out to look at some comparable rates for golf banquets, and attended meetings regarding the POS system for support. And also, I am scheduled for training in the upcoming week to continue the support of the golf course with their computer system in partnership with the IT department, as well as the membership application form was done for the golf course. As far as forms and support for different departments, we've updated our Pine Lake rental form, which Pine Lake is supposed to open, I believe, May 1st. Food vendor applications, Memorial Day ceremony flyers with QR codes, recapturing our veterans with Trustee Jewel Thompson, and the tree branch pickup information, the gardening workshop, and which was actually postponed due to an educator scheduling conflict. Okay, and then also for community engagement, we are working on Coretta Scott King Day, which is coming up on April the 27th. If anyone is interested, I have the poster in support of that. I've taken several pictures. We're going to do a community engagement post for that in support with them, and as well as went to the University Park Public Library for their Cotton Club and supported that event. And the University Park Police Department working on IDs, and the policy manual training and PAYCOM training for support.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Jenkins. Ms. Jenkins.
Ms. Jenkins, there's a question from our clerk.
Would you email me your report, please?
She don't type that fast.
I get blisters all the time.
Manager Scott. Oh, okay. I thought she was waving me off, Leslie. You got something though, right? Oh, you're gonna
Okay, so I have a couple of things to go over from HR. First, we had 19 interviews this month, and 19 interviews, and we are close to hiring a few people that we're missing, so we're good on that. We had 4 terminations that we did, that I was able to do 4 exit interviews on. We did very well with that. We have been working on the employee manual. It's done, it's in its draft. I've been meeting with the department heads every Tuesday so that they could make their changes and give me their wishful thinking, but we're not listening to them. But they've been really good, and the next step is to have the mayor and Elizabeth go over that, and the next step is to give it to you all and to give you like 3 weeks, maybe a little bit more, so that you could kind of go through that, and then the last thing would be for us to have the attorney put the blessing on it, so we're pretty good. Liz looked at my book today and she said, "That's not it, is it?" It was 110 pages. I go, "Not all of it, but yeah, but we're good." The exit interviews have been really, really good, with the exception of a few that we can share offline, but we've been pretty good with that. And also just some of the hiring that we did. Unfortunately, the fireman that we hired that started last Monday resigned yesterday morning. He's going to Hazel Crest for money. So let me just be clear on that, okay? Great guy, and Liz had a great compliment, I think, from somebody in the community that said they were so happy to see him. Just, yes, yeah, I talked to him at length. Sean talked to him at length, and there was nothing we could do. He's not interested in the overtime. He's interested in being home with his 3 young kids and working like a 40-hour work week. The other thing, too, just to share, we have a number of workers' comp, but we've been working on bringing back workers' comp employees in a part-time or in a status that is light duty, so that we can kind of keep them busy. But we've been pretty good, and I just always have to apologize because Liz has been having problems, not her, but the computer's been having problems, so we really have been going through all kinds of heck with that. But again, those are the things that we've been working on in HR, and we're pretty good. Last thing, this May 1st, there are a number of increases. AFSCME is at 3.5, Teamsters is at 3, IAFF is at 2.5. All of those are in the system and are ready to go. All of the uniform allowances, except the chiefs, just kidding, but are all in the system and ready to go. They're not late this year. We did a great job at getting them in, so we really feel good about that, and so do the employees, actually. So we're all good with that. I don't know if this is possible, but being in HR, I never want anybody to miss any paycheck that's coming to them. And if you tell me that we can't, but Matt I had him email me the report that he sent to the manager. I don't know if that's something that can be opened back up, or does it have to wait till next month? But he did send me his report that I can read, and hopefully maybe it can get voted on today. I don't know if that's possible, but it is. I can read the report. Okay. Can your eyes read this? Can you see it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, projects I've been working on for the Village of University Park, work with the village manager with getting the salt building area ready for install of the new building, which will begin February 27th, 2024. The salt building is now complete as of April. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The salt building is now completed as of April 6, 2024. I did not walk around and check the whole area on Saturday, April the 6th with the company and received all paperwork on the building and all warranty documents. 2, worked with Verizon for the install of the GPS for the Public Works vehicles, which have been completed. The only vehicles without are the CDL snowplows. Work with Elizabeth and the Illinois Department of Public Health to complete the nitrate water sample for the golf course. Took a second set of samples per the state. We had to do 2 samples, do the regulations that have changed with the state. Also, a bacterial water sample was taken by Aqua, and the village is up to compliance with all water samples being completed at the golf course. Looked into pricing for 2-way radios for Public Works Department vehicles and found a company that does the radios over cell services versus having to get licenses for FCC for radios needing antenna with licenses having to be issued. Worked with the golf course in getting the repairs done for the flooded basement, getting golf carts taken out, frozen and broken pipes repaired, shutting down the pressure tank at the golf garage, which is getting water to wash the equipment, which we will need to replace due to not shutting off the water for the winter, along with getting the garage to see what equipment is left in there. Met with Antero Group on Sandra Drive about the sewer issue in the middle of the street and the cave-in issue at the inlet end by the creek. Had line televised to see the condition of the sewer main and what it would take for the repairs to be done. Waiting on a cost estimate to come in for repairs. Repairs that need to be done at the sewer inlet wall will need to replace 36-inch piping from the wall into the street. met with Elizabeth and Enterprise to go over the village vehicles and update the current list that they have in the system. I spoke with Maury and gave some vehicles that needed to be updated and or removed. Went out and looked at the equipment for the golf course: riding mowers, green mowers, T mowers, fairway mowers, along with hand tools to keep the maintenance done at the golf course. Purchased all hand tools from Shorewood John Deere, and they were at the golf course maintenance garage. 3 weed whips, 2 chainsaws, a backpack blower, a backpack sprayer. Found Revels John Deere that has and will get equipment for the golf course along with Sourcewell participant. Sat in on meetings with the village manager for streets and village would like to get paved, that need to get paved, and went over the conditions. And also what curb drain conditions were like, as well as what could be resurfaced or what needed to be reconstructed. Sat in on meetings with the village manager and Randall from Antero Group with CMAP on projects for street replacement on University Parkway from Governor's Highway to Cicero, and talked about sidewalk and curbs to be added. Project still in the beginning stage. Went out and got pricing on street light poles and arms. I have 3 different quotes for light poles. We'll have to adjust the number count as some more poles have been knocked down Went and looked at 2 fuel management companies for the village. I spoke with a 3rd vendor, and they told me that they would get their product from the wholesale company that gave me the first quote. They are Sourcewell as well. Went and helped at the golf course with the cleanup of all the tree branches that were down on the whole course that was interfering with the fairways and the cart path. Spent 2 days out there helping the public works get it cleaned up. All backflow preventers were due for inspection. I set up days for Calumet City Plumbing to come out and test all of the village buildings with them, and that is complete, and the village manager and DC Richards have the results of what needs to be repaired. Fire inspections at the golf course, work with Public Works on getting repairs done for the inspection, and everything I know of is completed. Minor repairs needed to be removed, bad extension cords to put cover on the outlet, wires showing, fix some broken tiles on the kitchen floor. Also had the dishwasher come out and fix the dishwasher that was leaking and replace the bad pressure valve. Made a gap between the wall and the carts to get through the exit. 16, Regal Farm project. Went with Randall to walk through the building to see what is salvageable to keep, and went through each room and collected 4 boxes of items and totes, and they have been put in Unit 16 at the town center. Going to call Homewood to get a dumpster delivered for the week of April 16 for clean out. Western Avenue 17, Western Avenue repaving project by Will County. Went and looked at the intersections and crosswalks down Western to see the conditions, to see if there was anything that needed to be repaired. I've worked with Mike from Antero Group on this project, as we are still waiting on some answers from the county about who owns the crosswalk or some type of maintenance agreement, which I've asked for and still have not received any of them. There's a meeting coming up on April the 24th with the county on this project, and we will find out more information on this. That concludes his report.
Ms. Jenkins.
Ms. Jenkins, would you email that to the clerk, please? Okay, before we go to your report, I was going to ask you consider what you'd like to pay.
It's not,
I know,
but I want to go on the, I want to be on the record. We should already know, if somebody's working for us, we should know what we're hiring them to work for. It seems like he's doing a little bit of everything. So I still don't know what he was hired to actually do. He doesn't have a contract, right?
No, he does not. However, Leslie did meet with Matt in the very beginning and got an initial list. And it's about maybe 12 to 15 items. I can't remember off the top of my head. But the list has grown extensively. A big part of it is we do not have a public works director. So when issues come up, I have him jump in and assist. He also assists me when we apply for grants and things that I need to know something about, tell televising underneath, certain things that have to do with engineering things that actually overlap with Public Works. I've used him for that.
And that's fine, but I would just like to know ahead of time, if somebody is supposed to be working, what is it that they're supposed to do? I don't think that's unreasonable.
Okay, so my question is, do we pull that item, take a vote on that item that you have pulled, trustee?
It's up to the, yes. I'm just one person.
All right. So, Felicia, before the manager gives us, what do you?
You would, yes, you would. So you would have to say a motion to approve, because you pulled it, so now you would have to say motion to approve.
So, in other words, a member from the board will have to make a motion in a second. Then we have to do the roll call, and just call the item. Is that the process? All right. If someone wants to make a motion.
I want to make a motion
To
approve Matt Stacy.
the release.
The release of his check.
Is there a
Second.
motion by McFadden, second by Lewis? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis.
Both sides.
Trustee McFadden.
Vote aye.
Trustee Folger.
Vote side.
Trustee Thompson.
Both sides.
Trustee Williams.
Vote aye.
Mayor Rodriguez.
I concur, Madam Clerk. Votes aye.
No, you can't concur.
Manager Scott, your report.
Okay, real quick, I had a problem opening up the attachments, but it is all these reports are attached together, but for some reason I couldn't open it. So we're working with ComEd to do an assessment for new LED lights and fixtures for Village Hall. I have a long report, okay. We're doing a ComEd Energy Assistance Assessment for new LED lights and fixtures, cover the installation costs to fully fund the new LED panels for the village. The lights will be upgraded, so the dental business, the salon and the restaurant, they've already been completed in the town center, but those are on the tenant side. We're projected to save 70% on lighting energy. The lighting will improve, and you will never have to purchase bulbs or ballasts again. It's a wonderful program that ComEd is offering. I have the reports here from ComEd, but I wanted to give you some of the numbers. So the total incentives for 44 Town Center is approximately $11,052, $8,129.20 for the bonus. Also for 2 Town Center, it's roughly $3,700 and some change. So we'd only have to pay $73 for the first installation and $484, but we're saving thousands of dollars a year. We've also interviewed over 15 candidates for possible positions within the village for employment. We have more interviews scheduled this week. I think it's at least 5 between the next couple of days. We are working to put together still the ground course maintenance crew. I've actually hired one young man who's very experienced and very promising. I'm really happy with his performance so far. We had a meeting with Christy De Laurentiis at the SSMMA headquarters. When I say we, the mayor and I, we met with some of the other communities such as Markham, Mattison. The mayor was there with their managers, just talking about what happened at the time, which was with the Amazon possible tax situation. So we had that meeting. It was a really good meeting because when you get together, you actually powwow about a lot of different things that mutual neighbors are going through. So it was a really good meeting. Also, we had a lobby day this past week. The mayor, the clerk, the trustees, Trustees Williams, Lewis, and Fulcher attended. We went to, as Trustee Lewis said, the IBC Leo general body meeting. We discussed infrastructure. They also mentioned, touched on EV and renewable energy, and also other just legislative briefings. Mayor Rudez and I also met with Mr. Osman, who is I may be saying his name improperly, but it's Omar Osman, I believe. He's the Secretary for the Illinois Department of Transportation regarding IDOT projects and the plans for the futures with various streets throughout the Southland. That's a really good opportunity because IDOT sometimes takes a long time to respond, and it's good when you have someone that you can actually touch that's tangible right there and get answers. And we met with a bunch of different neighboring municipalities, including Richton Park was there, Hazel Crest was there, Mayor Burgess was there, so we had Mattison. So it was a good conversation about infrastructure and just kind of to know also what the neighboring communities are working on. We've had an inspection at the golf course, so we're continuing to fix some of the things up. Hopefully, there's been postponed with the deck due to weather, but they should be done soon. We've also had a lead service line check-in. We're still working to implement that. Also, the Community Change Grant. So the Community Change Grant is a portion of the EPA, the Office of Environmental Justice and External Civil Rights. So it deals with environment and climate justice. So that ties into all the things that we're trying to do with EV. So we're applying for that as well. We had the RTA Steering Committee meeting, as well as the meeting for the Veterans Memorial Garden. We recently submitted another grant for Cook County. So Homes for a Changing Region, which is through the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus, and it's basically a program that enables municipal leaders to chart future demand and supply for housing in your communities, and it assists you with the task of actually getting homes built in your community and helps you with the blueprint. We met with GSU, I can't even think of her name right now, excuse me, but regarding the changing of the banners and for GSU on their campus, so we're going to be implementing that. We met with Vernon and Mays, and we're not paying for this is GSU, so we just met with them to go over that. Also, updating mobile vendor forms. I think I sent that to the board. It wasn't updated because we actually didn't have a form, so what I'm finding is sometimes we'll have ordinances, but there's no form that goes with it. So tuition reimbursement form is now something that we've completed. We're going to be bringing that forth when that'll be with the employee manual, and it's usually found in the back under the appendixes. Also, we have a working list of streets. I sat down with Matt and Taro to go over streets. I'm going to be forwarding that to the board, but it's an aggressive plan over the next several years to chart out the streets based on needs. You have to take into consideration pace and things of that nature. I think that's about it for my report. I wanted to add again, the mayor and I, when we met with Bert some time ago, and the mayor's had extensive conversation, but it was a really big win for the village that that Judge Anderson is allowing Odelson to intervene with that lawsuit. They also put forth that the Attorney General, Kwame Raoul's office in Aqua, cannot sign that consent decree. So thank God for that. And also, as far as the case with Zimmerman, to include other residents in the class action, they will allow that to open. So we're going to continue to work through the details of that, but we are making progress as it relates to Aqua and the whole situation. I've also had conversation and meetings with Jonathan Flowers from Robinson Engineering. We continue to have meetings. I have a meeting coming up this week with Will County in regards to that grant for the, that was supposed to be the lead pipe replacement. We've had to alter it because someone from Kwame's office reached out to Will County and questioned the grant after there was a deposition and whatnot. So we're on the move. That's the end of my report. Thank you. Oh yeah, just to say it again, the NDA's been lifted. Samsung is coming to University Park. It's a big deal because Samsung made the decision to close 3 of their other locations throughout the country. They're going to be located in the old Dart Solo Cup. So that's a really big win for University Park. And Samsung has decided to make their headquarters here in University Park. So we're happy that they're here, and we look forward to a great partnership.
And we got about 300 jobs,
Yes, it's actually closer to 400, they said. 400 jobs that should be coming up available, and they're going to work with us to have some type of hiring event.
And Carvana's going to do a job fair here.
Oh, yes, and we met with Carvana, so many meetings, and Carvana said, too, that they're looking to put together a hiring event. So I'm going to be reaching out to different businesses in the industrial. Yes, and industrial. So there's several businesses that we did talk to, and they said that they are interested in partnering for a hiring event. So that's the end of my report. They are not tax-free. We won't be getting sales tax, so I wanted to make that clear. It's going to be property taxes for the Samsung.
Yes.
They won't be selling out of there, per se.
Yeah. And for the record, there's no TIF,
There's no TIF.
Any agreement like that, no incentive agreement. Their mind was made up to come to University Park, and we're glad to have them, and we look forward to a giant ribbon cutting to invite everybody. It's going to be phenomenal. And my report will be real quick. I would like to announce something that we want everyone to attend. That will be our first annual town hall meeting, which will be Saturday, June the 8th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. We'll be running a tight schedule. Then we'll be able to address some of the issues that we really don't want to put out right now. Hopefully we'll have the attorneys here from the from Bert Olson and Zimmerman Group to tell you guys exactly, you can hear it from the horse's mouth, what's happening in the courtroom. But University Park is victorious in the courtroom, and other good things that's going on in the community. Our trip to Washington, D.C., I was just reviewing some things because I got a letter from the EPA today. Thank you, Trustee Williams, Trustee Lewis, Manager Scott, Jonathan, and Aaron from Robinson. The whole goal for University Park, we know that we're pretty much displeased with the current water provider. We know that. We have to deal with what we have right now. Right now, the IEPA says the water has reached their standards for the last 24 months, and it's the same as it was prior to the breach. That's what they say. That's what the government says. It's legible, and that's what the courts agree to. But the court order still makes sure that they have their water distribution center over, and that might be open for the next 2 or 3 years. We don't know what the answer is. But the question is, what do we want now since the ball is in our playing field and we're not under the gun? Those are some of the things that we'd like to talk about in our annual town hall meeting. So it's very important for you guys to come and participate so we can hear from you what we want. For once, we have some leverage on our side. But the end game and the long game is to get rid of that company, to get infrastructure dollars. Our trip to Washington was solely about infrastructure dollars and controlling our own destination with Lake Michigan water from a new source. There are 2 new water agencies out there that's thriving on Lake Michigan water. One that Aaron is running with the Southwest Water Distribution Agency, and there's another opportunity, if we're fortunate enough to get the dollars, to tap into Chicago Heights and get Lake Michigan water. This process takes probably, it could be 5 to 8 years, but I tell you one thing, we're making progress, and with the first steps has been taken. So just stay on to the journey. Have faith in what's going on, because we got to get away from them. There's nowhere in the world that we have to have someone control our sewer system, our transfer lines, and we have no say-so. Those days are over with, so we just thank God that he's given us an opportunity to advocate on behalf of our residents and make a change and make a difference. I'll conclude my report right there. I look forward to well, you know, we haven't even gotten that far in the conversation yet. But anything that we get out of Lake Michigan water be well worth its weight in gold, because what we have right now is just not satisfactory for us. And the unfortunate thing about it, because I really feel good talking about it, you got to think about all this growth and development, stuff that never ever happened in University Park. Every time that, say for instance, Samsung, they're coming into town. Well, guess who their water provider is? We're rewarding them with millions and trillions of dollars, and we're getting nothing in return. No humanitarian effort, no conversation, no anything. Amazon, Century Steel and Wire, that uses millions of gallons of water on a daily basis. We're constantly rewarding them. So we're going to find some different ways to do business, because we're not going to always reward the people who kick us in our tail but we're not going to stop our economic growth and development because that's important to you guys, because I'm a long-standing resident, a taxpayer, and the best thing that we can do is provide economic growth. And that's the only thing outside of building new homes that will help lower our property taxes. We're in a good place, University Park. Believe in the future because it's a lot better than the past has ever been. Third airport is up and going better than I could ever have thought it would be. Actually, Dr. Osmond was saying the RFP, which the request for proposals will be ready June of 2024. And there's a minority participation clause in there, which I'm thrilled about, to ensure that everyone has an opportunity to participate, from the construction of the airport, from the maintenance, from the janitorial part. A lot of opportunities are coming this way. So stay the course. We'll update you more as we move on. And may I have a motion to adjourn? Wait a minute. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn to a brief executive session. No action being taken. All right, so is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Thompson, Lewis. Roll call. For the purpose of litigation. Imminent, no, probable litigation. Imminent or prominent litigation. Thank you. Roll call. All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call. This one has to be a roll call. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis.
Both sides.
Trustee McFadden.
Both sides.
Trustee Poe.
Both sides.
Trustee Thompson.
Both sides.
Trustee Wood.
Both sides.
Mayor.
I mean.
Vote aye.